Alright, a viewer of mine sent me this video and asked me to respond to it and said it was a particularly annoying video, and I know exactly what they mean. It's like this Western piece of shit just attacking China for no reason, making all kinds of bullshit accusations.
On this episode of China Uncensored, Mao's Crystal Mausoleum. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Mao Zedong is responsible.
You don't look very Chinese. Like, you're China Uncensored. You're the most qualified. Like, where is this broadcast, coming from? The US? That's like the, Radio Free Asia or some shit, which is based in fucking Washington.
Responsible for the deaths of tens of millions of Chinese people.
Like, already, oh god, we only got 12 seconds into it and it's already bullshit.
He led the country on disastrous campaigns of death and destruction, like the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution. But
fuck you! Like, this is so stupid. Okay, the Great Leap Forward, when China's economic base was built. So, without the Great Leap Forward, China would still be what it was 100 years ago. Like, do you know that India used to be more wealthy than China? Living standards in India used to be better than in China 100 years ago. A mere 100 years ago. But it's not exactly like that anymore, is it? China has gotten so much better over the years. Because of Mao. Because of the Great Leap Forward. Like, did you know that China's economic growth, I mean, it's been, like 9% every year. I mean, recently it's gone down, but people always say that, oh, when China became a more market-oriented, more capitalistic society, that's when they started getting this, this incredible GDP growth of 9% every year. Do you know that it was actually, on average, it was actually 9% under Mao as well? So it's not like this capitalistic market thing just emerged out of nowhere and just made China super wealthy overnight. No. Mao built the country and then they just kept building on top of that. Like, all of China's success relied on the previous things done by Mao. So fuck you, this is a stupid argument, it's a baseless accusation.
you can't find out about any of that in China, so he's worshipped as a hero.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar. The official Chinese position is that they oppose both of those things. They officially attack both of those things.
And what do you do with your heroes? Mummify them.
Like, China has this weird relation to Mao, because there's a lot of people who really like Mao in China, and they're still alive. Like, they were alive when Mao was alive, and they remember that, and they really like Mao. And Mao is also the founder of the country. So that's why they kind of, the modern Chinese government uses Mao as this, okay, he's like the founder of our country, and he's a national hero, but they still attack his policies, because they're right-wingers and Mao was a left-winger. They say that the Cultural Revolution was bad because, you know what the Cultural Revolution did? It ousted right-wingers. The exact same right-wingers who then actually came into power and reversed Mao's policies. Deng Xiaoping, for example. The Chinese government opposes the Cultural Revolution, and it also attacks the Great Leap Forward as a mistake. So don't tell me people don't freaking know.
I sure hope they do the same for my hero, Jackie Chan. There's a
very funny,
very well-known place in China called Tiananmen Square. We all know why it's so famous. Because that's where Mao's mausoleum is.
You idiot. I mean, Tiananmen Square was always famous. It was always fucking famous. And yeah, he shows that picture of that guy climbing on top of the tank. Like, there was actually an interesting study done about this. About false memories. Like, people have totally false memories. Because there's apparently like millions of people who are convinced they saw a video where that guy was run over by the tank. Because, yeah, the guy doesn't get run over by the tank. The tank stops, then it tries to go around him, but he, like, gets in the way again and then climbs on top of it. But, you know, anyway, this Tiananmen shit is stupid anyway, because they're like saying that, oh, people were opposed to Chinese communist rule, so they rebelled and then they were brutally suppressed. I mean, nothing happened at Tiananmen. Nobody was shot at Tiananmen. In some other places there was some violence, but in Tiananmen there was no violence. Nothing, literally nothing happened at Tiananmen, except a bunch of people protested and sang songs. There were multiple factions of people who were at Tiananmen. There were the liberals who wanted more, liberalism, more capitalism. But then there were also Maoists, because, Mao had just died, several years before, and most of his policies were being reversed. The collective farms were being dissolved, leading to poverty and inequality in the countryside, and people not having access to healthcare in the countryside, because the way the system worked was the collective farms provided healthcare, and in the cities, like industrial workplaces provided healthcare to their employees. So there were a lot of people who were opposed to these reforms who were actually Maoists.
Young people were singing the Internationale to a background of gunfire.
It's just false to say that it was all just people who were pro-capitalist.
Because that's where Mao's mausoleum is.
Yeah, fuck you, you're an idiot.
So there used to be this dumb 600-year-old gate at Tiananmen Square, but the communists tore it down in 1954, and when Mao died in...
You attack them for tearing down this gate. Like, all of a sudden you're super, like, supportive of fucking absolute monarchy and feudalism. Like, everything, every remnant of feudalism is supposed to be protected. Fuck that. No, thank you.
To put his tomb. Under the watchful eye of dozens of heavily armed army personnel, people from all around China come to pay their respects to the great helmsman. The mausoleum opens at 8 in the morning and closes at 4, but so many people come to see the mummified Mao, they have to cut the line off at 12, or else the people at the end of the line wouldn't make it before closing time. Think about
that's lovely.
how many people that is.
Yeah. Well, it's the country's founder. It's literally the country's founder. He founded the country, led the Revolutionary War, led the war against the Japanese invaders, and won, and then he industrialized the country. He's a great hero. Literally, China's greatest national hero. Of course people are going to go there.
I mean, Mao was able to get people from around the country to line up to see his mangoes, so this guy had a pretty strong personality cult going. That isn't a joke. He was actually able to get people to come from miles to see mangoes. One guy was executed when he said they looked like sweet potatoes.
That sounds incredibly reliable. I will just believe everything you say, because you obviously wouldn't ever lie or, say anything inaccurate, right? Oh god, that's laughable. But seriously though, the whole thing with mangoes is because the Prime Minister of Pakistan gave a bunch of mangoes to Mao as a gift. And Mao decided to give mangoes to factories and factory workers who were doing a particularly good job. Now, what is so fancy about mangoes? I mean, the thing is, there's no mangoes in China. At least, there weren't back then. People had never seen a mango. It's an exotic fruit that doesn't grow there naturally. So, he's basically just laughing at these poor people like, oh, what are they, a bunch of idiots? They've never seen mangoes before. Like, who would even care? But I mean, it wasn't that long ago when it was the same exact thing here in Finland. Like, there's all these stories about how oranges and bananas and stuff like that first appeared in Finland. Like, nobody had ever seen such things before. Everyone was curious. Like, they bought bananas from a kiosk. They didn't know how to peel them. They didn't know how to eat them. It was a new thing. It was a novelty. People wanted to go and see. And also, they became sort of a symbolic prize. Like, oh, if you got a bunch of mangoes because you were a particularly good worker, then yeah, there was a certain status to it. But what is so crazy about
Chinese
that?
leader / sex-addicted psychopath,
Sex-addicted psychopath. Like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You can just baseless accusations. Sex-addicted psychopath. Like, you're like a psychiatrist. You can just diagnose him and say, oh, you're a psychopath, Mao. Jesus Christ. And you're also addicted to sex. Yes. Oh, fuck you.
for mummification
I would love to hear his reasons why Mao was a sex addicted psychopath, but okay.
wasn't easy. The Soviets pioneered this embalming.
This guy says that, like, the founder of China is a sex addicted psychopath. Well, at least he wasn't a fucking slave owner who thought that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. I mean, Mao was probably the most progressive founder of a state ever. Think about that. Who are the other founders of states? I mean, there's Lenin, also progressive. But what about the other founders of states, like the founders of the United States? Like, some of them opposed elections and democracy altogether. Some of them, wanted monarchy. A lot of them wanted some kind of elections, some kind of democracy, but only the kind of democracy where rich white people, rich white men could vote. No women, no black people, because they were slaves, as they should be, right? And, no poor people, only people who had lots of property and lots of land. So, fuck you. I mean, Mao was a brilliant statesman. Mao was a brilliant founder of a state. Probably the most progressive founder of a state ever.
Process with their mummification of Lenin, but in the late 70s, China and the USSR weren't exactly on speaking terms. So China had to get it from Vietnam. But it was the crystal coffin that would preserve and display Mao that was the real problem. No one but the Soviets knew how to make it, so China had to figure it out on their own. First, there was talk of just taking the crystal coffin the Soviets had made for Sun Yat-sen, the highly respected father of modern China.
You're an idiot. Sun Yat-sen was not the father of modern China. Mao is literally the father of modern China. That said, Sun Yat-sen was still a brilliant guy. He was a progressive left-wing nationalist. He was a friend, or at least had a cordial relationship with Lenin. Supported some aspects of Leninism. He liked the idea of democratic centralism. In general, he was a cool guy. He was Mao's ally at the time. His party, Kuomintang, was the ally of the Communist Party. But of course, that all changed when Sun Yat-sen died and Chiang Kai-shek came into power in the Kuomintang. Then they betrayed the communists. But yeah, Sun Yat-sen was a cool guy. But he wasn't the father of modern China.
Chucking his body and putting Mao in there. But Mao was too tall. In the end, there was a nationwide competition.
Mao was tall, huh? Well, okay, interesting.
To see who could build the best crystal coffin. 24 were submitted, and in the end, the one that won could withstand an 8.0 magnitude earthquake.
That's pretty impressive.
This is a coffin for China's greatest leader we're talking about, after all.
Yeah.
Not some school in Sichuan. It needs to be able to withstand an earthquake.
Is that funny to you, like making fun of like earthquake victims in poor countries? Jesus Christ.
Mao, be sure to swing by the gift shop and get your very own Mao crystal coffin set. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.
Like, what the fuck happened in this video? He just made a bunch of fun of Chinese people for wanting to go see the founder of their country. What the fuck? I mean, I assume that you're an American. I assume that you're American. Maybe you're Canadian. I don't know, but you sound like an American based on your accent. So you guys literally carved the faces of your leaders in a fucking mountain. A mountain. That's amazing. Your citizens still worship the Constitution of America. Like, no other country worships their Constitution. I've never heard of any other country where people are like, oh, the Constitution is right up there with the Bible. Like, no. No other country. Like in Venezuela, when they made the new Chavez Constitution, they made like a little booklet out of it and they handed it to people so that everyone can know their rights according to this new Constitution. But, and they're really pushing that, really pushing for that. But in the US, people don't even read the Constitution. They just have this reverence and, they just worship it like it's coming from God. A lot of Americans actually say that it was coming from God. So don't give me this hypocritical bullshit about China.